Are you looking at raising some meat rabbits of your own? You're wondering just how much do they eat on a daily basis? Well, that's the topic of today's video. I'm going to get that all cleared up for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name is Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or heck, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. And today we're talking about how much do meat rabbits actually eat. And we're talking about pellets, if you're feeding pellets and hay to your rabbits. Not really talking so much in this video about a natural diet. I may cover that in a future video if you want to feed them vegetables and weeds and those kinds of things, or grow food for your own rabbits. But this video is going to be focused on feeding them with pellets and hay. All right, as with most things, it kind of depends a little bit on what kind of rabbit you have. Assuming that you have standard meat rabbits, New Zealand whites, Californias, silver foxes, any of those that are in the 10-pound range, and not the giants like the suddenly Flemish giants, or any of those giant rabbits, or any of the pet rabbits are going to be a little bit smaller. But with my rabbits, they're about 10 pounds each. Some of them get up to about 12 pounds. And I find that it averages out to around 6 ounces a day of pellets that I feed those rabbits. And that, it varies a little bit. It goes up and down just a little bit depending on what time of year it is. In the summertime, they tend to eat just a little bit less. In the wintertime, they tend to eat just a little bit more. Your pregnant does, when they're pregnant and nursing, they're going to eat a little bit more than they would normally. And of course, whenever you have kits born, they're not going to eat anything at first, and then they're going to start eating, and they're going to eat different amounts at different times depending on where they're at in their development. But with all things being equal, it averages out to around 6 ounces a day per rabbit. Now, I keep 1 buck and 2 does here presently. So let's talk about how that equals out into cost. During the summer months, whenever I'm not breeding and I'm just maintaining my 1 buck and my 2 does, getting them ready for breeding in the fall, they usually go through about a bag of feed every month and a half, roughly. Now, a bag of feed here, that's a 50-pound bag, it's about $16. And so that equals out to about $11 a month. It costs me about $11 a month to maintain these 3 rabbits throughout the summer. Now, in the wintertime, when I pick up my breeding program and I start breeding and I have baby rabbits, I almost always have at least 1 litter of rabbits that's eating food at that time. And it overlaps a little bit while I have 2 litters of rabbits. One's just starting to eat while the others are just getting up to butcher weight. Now, assuming that your baby rabbits grow out to butcher weight within 8 weeks, which mine typically do, I try to maintain an 8-week, rabbits that will produce young that will grow out within 8 weeks, I typically spend closer to about $20 a month to get those rabbits up to butcher weight. So what that comes out to, the cost per pound of finished meat, when you butcher at 8 weeks old, about $20. I usually get about 10 rabbits out of that. That's around 50 pounds. It comes out to somewhere around $2, maybe $2.50 a pound. It varies a little bit just depending on a number of different things. So hopefully that kind of clears a few of those things up for you. As far as the hay goes, hay is a negligible expense depending on how much it costs in your area. Usually get a bale of hay for $10, maybe $15, and that'll last me several months. They don't really go through the hay that much. Sometimes they go through it more than other times, but it really averages out to where it's not that big of an expense for me, so I don't really figure that in. So let me talk a little bit about how you feed your rabbits, though. I've discussed this in other videos, but when I come up to that 6 ounces per average, I don't measure that out to 6 ounces and then dump that in and that's all they get every day. I feed my rabbits based on how much they eat every day. So in other words, I go to fill up my feeder, or I go to put feed in the feeder, and if the rabbit hasn't cleaned up all its pellets from the day before, I put a little less feed in there. Now, if I go to put feed in the feeder in the morning and the rabbit just comes running and dives right in because he's out of food and he's just starving to death, I add a little bit more pellets to the. So I let the rabbits tell me how much they want to eat. And I just did the math on how many bags of rabbit feed I bought over the last year, kind of rough guesses at how many litters I produced, and did the math, and it came out to about 6 ounces a day. So hopefully that clears some things up for you. Put your mind at ease if you're looking at raising your own meat rabbits. $2 to $2.50 a pound for meat that you've raised yourself, that no antibiotics are going into, is a pretty good deal in my book. And I hope that it's a good deal in your book as well. Let me know in the comments below if you have different, if the feed's different in your area, if it's coming out to a different amount that you feed your rabbits, or if you have additional questions that you'd like to get answered. I try to respond to every single comment, do the best I can to do that. If you are brand new to this channel, hit that subscribe button that's popping up down there so you can stay updated with my content. And as always, God bless.